How we doing, guys? We're here with Fight City Gym Talk. I've got Josue Cedeno. And let me tell you a little bit about him, just right out of the gate. Tough dude from Ecuador, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of my favorite memories of Josue here is in his first Muay Thai fight that I saw him fight. Fight was going back and forth. Everybody's on the edge of their seats until Josue throws this nasty spinning back elbow. It stumbles his opponent into the ropes. And I thought Josue was going to finish him, but he's vicious. He just kept fighting this dude. Like, come on. And he does it again. He did it twice, didn't you?
Yeah, twice.
Hit that spinning back elbow twice. Both times, puts the guy in the rope, stumbles him. Anyway, I'm super jealous because I really haven't had any success throwing spinning back anything in a fight. So when Josue hit that, I was super stoked, but I was also very jealous. So, Josue, tell us a little bit about yourself. You are from
Ecuador.
Ecuador?
Yeah.
And what brought you from Ecuador to the United States?
Well, it's a long story, but basically was the fact that over there, during the pandemic, everything was really hard for for living and everything. So basically what I was doing is working with my patients because of my profession. I'm a natural medicine doctor.
Got it.
And I was working. The fact that they couldn't make it to my office, I was going to their houses because people were scared. So economically, I was really bad. And I was trying to, I had all of that on my mind, a lot of stuff going on. So I actually took a vacation. So I came here just for a vacation.
Got it.
So after that, I just felt like here's a new way to start. So I just do all the legal stuff that I needed to do so I can stay here. And I just decided to move here and, just start over from the beginning.
Well, I'm glad you stayed. He's been an awesome teammate here at Fight City. Great competitor. And you're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
That is awesome. And his legs are about this big around, and they're strong, athletic legs. You don't want to get kicked by him, I promise. So the thing about Josue is I've been really encouraged by his story. He was just telling me a little bit about kind of how tough things were over in Ecuador.
Yeah, so basically in Ecuador, the situation, we use the same US dollar over there, but like a month you make, if you're working as an employee, it's just going to be $400.
Wow.
So $400, and if you pay an apartment for yourself, if you're living with your family or whatever, it's going to be like $300. So you just have $100 to survive for the rest of the month, which is impossible. So what people usually do is, besides their being an employee, they are selling, I don't know, like food or clothes or
everybody
just
has to have a side gig.
So everyone needs to do that. That's because that's the only way to survive.
So here's the deal. That sounds really tough, but the fact of the matter is, I feel like America's going that way. And that's really kind of disturbing to me in the fact that, like, now, are we living with just an extra $100? I think for most Americans, there's more in their budget than just an extra $100. But how many Americans have to work a side hustle? Honestly, I talk to people all the time. They're either trying to sell something on eBay. Here in Utah, we do KSL.
Marketplace on Facebook as well.
Yeah, people are always trying to side hustle, sell things, buy it cheap, sell it high. Uber, I had to drive Uber for a long time.
Oh, really?
When I was at my other gym. So the fact of the matter is, like, I hear how tough it was in Ecuador, and I don't want to say like doomsday's coming, but like I hear this and I'm like, dude, that's kind of where we're going here in America.
Same direction.
And I don't want to dwell on this. Just kept me up at night. The gas prices are high.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap!
I start when I got here. I was filling my tank. I have BMW X3.
Yeah.
So it's an SUV. I started filling my tank for $40.
Yeah.
Now I fill in my tank with $80. So it's like a lot. And I gotta fill my tank twice a week. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to change my car immediately. Otherwise, I'm gonna get broke.
The problem is everybody wants a small car, which means the cost of the small cars.
Everything is expensive. I was looking for cars this week, and I was like, oh my gosh, everything is just like it's like everything is about the same.
I've got two cars, Mitsubishi Mirage, tiny little thing. 3-cylinder, it's 44 to the gallon, an amazing car. So I love it. I'm super glad I got that one. My other one, old Chevy Suburban, big V8, terrible gas mileage. So I was telling my wife, I'm like, we're parking the Suburban in the garage. We're going to lock it in there, take the tires off of it, do something to where it can't move, and we're going to just force our family to drive this Mitsubishi everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, your story from Ecuador, what I'm hearing when I hear that is I'm just wondering, like, are we going down the same path? And hopefully we have the leadership in this country to get us back on the same path, but who knows? And we don't need to dwell too much on it, but let's just hope that we as Americans in this country can get the ball rolling in the right direction.
Oh yeah, it's getting tough. Yeah.
Without getting too political on this, but like we need to get this ball rolling in the right direction. Okay. I always like to talk about a handful of things. Spiritual strength. Now, I'm going to talk maybe a lot about spiritual strength with Josue. And the reason is because I know that you served an LDS mission.
Yes, I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to Chile, and I had 6 months in Ecuador as well.
Even though you're from Ecuador?
Yeah. So I had like 6 months at the end of my mission, just because of my visa problem.
Okay.
So I just ended up my mission in Ecuador.
That makes sense. So, for those of you that don't know, Josue, of course, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, served his mission in, I've already forgotten it.
Chile.
Yeah. Spanish speaking?
Yes.
So, but and I know that's, well, of course they speak Spanish in Chile. But sometimes you go to missions, like I served in Virginia, and we had people speaking Vietnamese and also people speaking Spanish.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so they're called to, everyone there speaks English, but they were called to speak a different language.
Yeah.
So, and then there's also missions where you're called to speak sign language. And so everyone's speaking another language, but there's a handful that are there just for sign language.
Yeah, I think there's a couple missions actually here in Utah, like in Temple Square,
Right.
and stuff. Yeah.
So anyway, so yes, it was a dumb question, but that's my justification for the dumb question. Okay, so here's the deal. How many years have you been home from your mission?
It's going to be 5 years.
5 years. Okay. I'm just going to ask some tough questions for you because I see a lot of spiritual strength when I see people come back from their mission. Now, we could get all denominational on this and basically say, oh, you just call them spiritually strong because they're returned missionaries. No. I'm saying spiritually strong because these guys have a strong belief in a creator. They have, well, I'm talking about returned missionaries.
Yeah.
A strong belief in a creator, a lot of good moral values, a lot of good moral traditions like saying prayers, reading scriptures. And I see these missionaries come home and they've got so much, I'm just looking at them and it just feels like spiritual strength. But these guys have these really strong spiritual traditions. Now, this can be done in any religion. So, Catholic, Baptist, Buddhist. Matter of fact, I've got a couple guys here that literally they're Muslim, and they take time out of their day and I let them in my back offices, and they go say their prayer. Like the Muslims have to just randomly stop and do, I think they pray 5 times a day or something.
Wow.
And they stop their training. I open up the office for them. They go pray. That's spiritual strength to me. You know what I mean? Let's take religion out of it. Let's talk about
Spiritual
traditions that are keeping people spiritually strong. So back to the LDS missionary. I see this really strong spiritual strength when they come home, and then I start to see them get involved with things that aren't spiritually strong or things that don't promote spiritual strength is maybe what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So was it hard for you keeping spiritual traditions and keeping spiritual strength when you came home from your mission?
Definitely. Actually, I think it's still a little hard for me, like, because, they have 2 paths. You already know, like, what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to, like, the habits you're supposed to have for the rest of your life. And there's the other path. You can try these new things. Maybe it's not going to be good for your spirit, but you probably, you can just try it. You're free now. You're an adult. You can choose whatever you want. Your parents are not there to tell you, oh, no, don't do that. Now you're an adult. And you are there to choose what you want to do. So it's still for me a little hard sometimes, you know, just to decide like, okay, is this gonna be good for my spirit? Is this gonna make me a better person?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you gotta create, I'll say like doing little things, you know, by like praying, by like, you know, reading the scriptures, whatever scriptures you guys think is the best, you know. Reading that, I think that's kind of like to give you the strength to choose what it's gonna be like good for you.
Yeah. And to talk about some of the traditions LDS missionaries develop, and each mission is a little bit different with a lot of the same like fundamental standards.
Oh yeah.
So basically on mine, we had a lot of rules that were kind of goofy that were like very much for just our mission. And then I talked to a lot of other missionaries that are like, we never had that rule. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So kind of a standard, and I think most missions are like this. Every morning we're up at 6.
Yeah.
Okay, every morning we're up at 6.
Same.
Sounds like his was the same. And then I think we got an hour to kind of get ourselves together. Shower, shave.
Exercise, I think it's in the morning as well.
A little bit of
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah. 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and then an hour of, I think ours was companionship study first.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything like
No,
that?
we had the personal study first, and then we do kind of like share with the companion, you know,
Yeah.
like everything, and then kind of like we
So,
just study something together.
An hour of companionship study and then an hour of personal study. Sounds like yours was vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of here nor there. So basically, every morning, 365 days a year for 2 years, we were getting 2 hours of reading the scriptures, and not just reading, but a lot of times we'd kind of get challenges to really dig and figure things out. Matter of fact, on my mission, I ended up diagramming the entire Book of Mormon.
Oh, wow.
From and I had
Oh,
then
my
he gave the place to this guy, and then this guy, and then they took over this land, and I did the whole thing.
You were one of those missionaries.
And so all I'm getting at is we see like how often in our lives do we have 2 hours to commit to spiritual strength?
It's not like something that I can see in my life now. Like yeah,
Ever
it's
getting back
and
to
that's
doing
that's the thing. Like I you know, when you're there, you know, when you're about to finish your mission, you're like, okay, now I'm so used to do this.
I'll just keep doing it.
I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life. I'm gonna like, you know, because you know you hear stuff like, you know, if you read the scriptures every day, you know, you're gonna be good for the rest of your life. You're like, oh yeah, that's easy. I can do that. And when you're actually in the real world, you know, like out of the, you know, the bubble, I will say, you know, because when you're in the mission, you're just doing what you're supposed to do. You follow rules. You don't need to worry about working. You don't need to worry about studying. I mean, like you study just the scriptures, you know.
Right. You're not
So
studying for
you're
school,
and sometimes languages when you're dependent where you serve. But like you're just worried about those things, and that's the only thing you need to worry about. And you worry about the people you teach. You worry about, you know, and you study for them and all that. So you have like when you step on the ground after your mission, and you're starting to see and live the real life. You're on internet all the time. Sometimes you're like super tired because of studying until late, and next day you gotta go fast to college or whatever. You know, like you ended up like realizing that you don't have time sometimes for doing that.
Yep.
And it's not that you don't have time, but sometimes, you know, like we're not used to do that.
And one thing that I say we study scriptures for 2 hours a day on a mission. And it's like, man, there's no way we got 2 hours a day. But let's talk about YouTube Reels real quick. I think they're Reels. They're the stupid videos.
The YouTube?
Yeah.
I think those are shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
Shorts on
YouTube
YouTube,
Shorts.
yeah.
I guess, is it Instagram that does Reels?
Yeah, Instagram's Reels,
Oh my
TikTok, and all
gosh.
that.
The problem is, it's embarrassing. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I get down watching Reels or Shorts, and I'm like, oh, that one. Oh, this one too. That one too. That one's cool. And next thing you know, it's like I watched 50 of them. Boom, 15, 20, 30 minutes, gone.
Exactly.
And it's embarrassing because I run a business, I have kids, and it's like, I shouldn't just be losing my life to this. I should be doing something more productive.
Exactly.
And so that's why you're basically talking to you, just bringing back my old mission. I came home thinking like, oh, I'm going to still study 2 hours a day. And then we planned everything out. On my mission, I was out there before cell phones. And so what we did is we had everything on a planner. We folded it up, boom, put it right there in our shirt pocket. And I was like, okay, starting first appointment 9, and boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, and we'd have the whole day scheduled.
Exactly.
And I remember telling myself, when I come home, I'm going to still do that because I'm going to be the most efficient.
You were one of those missionaries.
I'm going to be the most efficient, most effective dude, and it's going to, and this efficiency and this effectiveness, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Why not? Why don't I take all these great, good, solid habits of creating spiritual and mental and physical strength? Because we did have a workout time. I rode my bike every day on my mission.
Yeah.
Not every day. There were some areas that had a car, but like I did 100 push-ups a day. Like, I don't know. I felt like I was a rock star on my mission, to be honest with you. And I was like, I'm just going to carry that home. And I know we've got Josue here, but like I felt like personally, I had all this momentum, and all of a sudden I just kind of went on a nosedive. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I went off the deep end, but I just wasn't progressing the way that I was. And now my question going back to you: did you feel this? Did you see that in yourself?
Definitely, yeah. I think I was feeling like that like a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I think especially when you're getting to some rough time in your life, like some situation going around your life, that's when you realize and you feel like, how can I, from being here or, feeling this way, now I'm feeling this way, and, living my life this way,
Yeah.
So I think that's something that it happened all the time. I feel like that, and then is when I said, I go back to the same point, when you are in the middle again, like you want to keep feeling this way, or you want to go back now that that how that feels to be this way, go back to do what you think makes you feel better.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, we can call it spiritual, we can call it effective, we can call it efficient, we can call it just solid life decisions. The fact of the matter is, a very structured person, someone that's like, I'm out of bed at this time. That means I get to work. I have time to do my morning routine. I can get to work on time or early. Because I'm working on time or early, boss sees it, boss recognizes it, boss is willing to it's got to give the promotion to somebody. Well, he ends up giving it to the guy that's there on time or there early, the guy that's staying late, the guy that's getting it all done, the guy that's very neatly organized in how he does everything.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, it's like, it's really easy answers. And now we're going to shift over to mental toughness. It's really easy answers, regardless of your religion or your beliefs. Effective people are effective people. They figured out how to be super effective in what they're doing in their lives.
Yeah.
And that takes us to mental toughness. So, where do you see yourself on, we could talk about fighting mental toughness. Let's talk about life mental toughness. Where do you see yourself as maybe where you were on your mission? Where you kind of were just, and I'm assuming that you were doing everything the way you should. Do you see yourself with that same sort of mental toughness now today?
I think that right now I experience a lot more things, and that makes me a little more tough, I will say. Because, when I was in the mission, spiritually and mental, I was like, fine. I always go, I get sad sometimes because of, somebody not progressing,
Yeah.
But now I feel like, real stuff from real life, I did something wrong, and I'm like, how do I fix this? You know?
And so basically I guess life is making you a little bit more savvy, a little more gritty.
Yeah.
You're getting to where you're figuring things out.
And I think that the fact that I'm experiencing things, like things that I never experienced before, like anxiety, like depression, like all the things that, like you hear and you're like, oh, that's never going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And then boom, it hits you and you're like, this is how it feels. This is how a panic attack feels. And I'm like, that makes you like, realize that emotional like state of mind, it's really important, and you need to take care of that as well.
Funny conversation I just had with Mafu, our jiu-jitsu instructor. We're talking about gas prices, and I'll just be real. I'm sweating bullets right now. I'm crazy stressed out about these gas prices.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking to Mafu, who also owns his own business, and Mafu's just like, it'll be all right. It'll be fine. And Mafu's a Polynesian guy, and all I'm thinking is like he listens to too much Bob Marley. He's drinking too much kava. I think it's kava. But like,
he's super chill about it.
He's just like, he could care less, and I'm like, Mafu.
That's how I feel with people. When they post those memes about gas, I'm like, this is not a joke. Yeah. We're actually, when I ended up paying that, I saw this meme about like prices in California, like premium gas getting to $8 per gallon, and I'm like, that's not a joke. That's real life. That's happening right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to take it like that way.
I know. Me too. I don't know kind of where this is going or how to take it, but like it's super stressful. So as far as, let's go back to mental toughness. Do you feel now, I guess real quick, simple, your mental stability, your mental toughness is tougher, better than it's ever been?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's getting, through the experience, I think it's going to get even better,
Got
I
it.
think that's basically it. More experience you have, more wise you get.
Yeah.
And more, like, balance on your mind you get as well.
Got it.
And you be able to, deal with things that in the past you had a rough time, you had, like, anxiety or depression about certain situations. You know how to deal with that now.
Yep.
So you get better.
Okay, so mental toughness. Now let's go to physical. Where are you at physically?
That's an interesting question.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
Okay, so when I came here to Utah, when I came from Ecuador and everything, I was weighing 220 pounds,
Okay.
and that was solid. I felt like
Yeah, absolutely.
my whole body, because basically when you run a gym, that's this guy, you're just losing weight the whole time because you're training the whole time. Sometimes you're like like cleaning the floor or whatever, and you start sweating because this is, your whole body's like all the time with the mentality, the workout. So that's how it was in my gym. I was working out the whole day. I was, opening the gym at 6 a.m. because we were with schedule over there. So, I was working there in the morning, I giving the class, I start sweating. Then I joined the class, I start sweating, I joined the other class, and then I get the jiu-jitsu class and all that. Then I take a break, and then in the afternoon the same, and then in the night. So the whole time I was sweating. The whole time I was working out, I was doing CrossFit as well back there. And I was lean. I was, big and lean. And I was like, oh, this is not fine. When I got here, everything gets out of control. Because, first of all, here in America,
Can we just say that Americans are fat and we eat bad food?
I will say that. The thing is that the price of the fruit here, it's too expensive that people prefer just to buy, like
Fast
$1 hamburger.
Yeah.
So like over there with $1 you can buy like a lot of fruits,
So just
because
buy
the price
fruit, yeah.
the price of the food over there is way cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When I got here, especially for me, all this processed food, and like just buy the fast option, and then when you get to the store and you see, oh, look at all those like flavors of soda that we don't have over there. I'm just gonna try them all. So I was drinking soda. I was having a lot of sweet stuff. A lot of food, and I just starting to gain a lot of weight. And then is when I like felt like, oh, this is getting out of control, I have this Sunday suit that I always use, and I was like, this is not fitting me anymore.
Yeah.
My pants, I cannot wear this anymore. So then I was like, okay, let's just start to lose weight. So that was last year, before my fight, when I started, like getting more strict on my diet, eating more fruits, include like, more like water instead of sodas. I actually get rid of soda like almost.
You got to.
Yeah.
If you're drinking soda, stop. Just stop. There's so much sugar, unnecessary. It's just don't. So go.
And the thing is that here soda is different. Here, I think you guys have like maple syrup or like corn syrup or something like that in all your drinks. So that makes it even worse because that's processed. So, well, anyway, so I started, like my diet last year, and I started to get like into like competition and all that. So I lost a lot of weight. I got to 235 in my last fight. So I was just 15 pounds more than I was when I got here.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see the difference now, like because I also doing CrossFit, I also lifting weights and training and all that. I can see that my muscle actually grows.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I'm not in my best physically.
Okay, so where do you need to be?
My goal is to get to 230 pounds, but lean. I want to be lean.
230. Where you at right now?
Right now, 250.
So we got 20 pounds.
20 pounds, yeah.
How long is it going to take?
Well, I'm actually fighting in 240 in a month and a half. So I'm cutting that weight. And the thing is, this is what happened to me every time that I fight. I cut the weight, I fought, and then I start gaining weight.
And I'll tell you, if you haven't fought before, fighting is extremely stressful.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're usually trying to hit a target weight. So you're always full of kind of some anxiety, some nerves because of the upcoming fight, but you're also really kind of cracking down hard on your diet. So I mean, guys are, if you ask me, guys go through a ton of growth when they have a fight coming up.
Yeah.
Because they're training hard, they're dieting, and they're dealing with this constant anxiety. And so guys grow a lot when they got a fight coming up. But then when that fight is over, it's like coming home from a mission. You're just like, I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And all the
I don't need to worry about it. I will do it later. And then you start eating junk food and all that, and then you start gaining that weight. And that's how I felt this couple fights. And actually, my biggest mistake was in my last fight. Because I cut like 10 pounds in a day. And I was, like, it was in the summer. So I was using my sauna suit. I was, I was fasting. I was running. And then when I got to the weigh-in, I was like completely like weak. And I was like, okay, I did to the weight. And then the next day I was like, okay, I'm like, when I'm throwing my punches and stuff, I was like, I'm so weak. Like, I feel like, and even though that I had the cardio, I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I'm hitting hard, but like, it's not affecting him. So then it's when I realized, if I'm gonna cut weight, I'm gonna do it in the smart way. Like I'm gonna start doing like, like a diet that's gonna not make me feel weak anymore. Like I lost weight, but I lost fat, and I still having muscle and strength to be able to fight.
So we got to lose 10 pounds in the next month and a half.
Yes, sir.
And that's all we got to do.
Oh yeah.
We don't need to push past that. I mean, if you got more, I think maybe 11 or 12 pounds wouldn't hurt you. You know what I mean? Because a month and a half is quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So I would say let's hit that, and then after your fight, I'm only going to give you let's go 2 weeks after your fight. So 10 pounds to lose, you got a month and a half till your fight, right? So
yeah, it's April 23rd.
Pounds.
Yeah, basically.
Then we're going to lose 10 more pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, honestly, the hardest thing is as I'm giving him this challenge, in my mind, I'm thinking the hardest thing about this challenge is that celebration after the fight.
Oh yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. You're going to go eat a ton of junk food. Everybody does it. I know they do. Even though they might say they don't, but they do. So basically what we got to do is we're going to lose 10 pounds in a month and a half for your fight, because you got to. And here's the other goal, another unique challenge. Let's put you in a situation to where you don't have to sauna cut. I want you to walk. I want you to take a drink of water and step on that scale wearing, you're not stripping down nude or anything. Take a drink of water, t-shirt, shorts, and you hit 240.
Yeah, I'm actually,
that means
that's my goal.
So we have to lose the weight now.
Yeah.
So we don't have to sauna sit before the fight. And then when the fight's over, we continue to hit the diet really, because we don't have to worry about performance now. We don't have to worry about performance. So now we can really cut the calories, increase the workouts, and hit that. So we've got 2 months. You're going to be 20 pounds down, and in a month and a half, you need to walk on that scale at your weight.
Let's do that then.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Okay, so one thing we haven't touched on yet, financially. Where are you at financially? And this is going on to career, where you're at, where you want to be.
Okay.
What do you want to do with your life as far as your career?
Okay. Right now, like, to be honest, like with all of this thing going on, the inflation and all that, like I feel like I need to do something. I need to put my money somewhere.
Yeah.
So right now I had the money, but I don't know where to put it. Like I'm in that like, should I invest in trading and cryptos or whatever? But I don't. Yeah. So I don't know where to put my money right now.
So and here's the thing. If I don't have anywhere to put my money, I waste it.
Exactly.
So I need something. I need to kind of have. I call it financial stress, where it's like I don't like a lot of financial stress. That's never fun. But I like to be like, okay, I don't have to pay these bills because I have to. I have to pay these bills because I choose to.
Yeah.
Because I'm investing in this business or I'm investing in these cryptos. I've been buying a lot of silver lately. And so maybe something to consider. Because the thing about silver is it's going to grow in value. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to redeem your money out of it. So basically what I'm saying is if your money's sitting in a bank account, it turns into shoes, pizzas, t-shirts that you don't really need.
Exactly.
But if it's sitting in silver, and that's been kind of my favorite investment, if it's sitting in silver, it's like I could redeem it for cash, but because it's a pain, I think I'll just
Just leave it there. Exactly.
And then if something comes up, but that all goes back to your own goals. That's just
Yeah.
what I do.
That was like
to
my
each his own.
like my mentality in life was all the time was like, if I don't have money on my wallet, I'm not gonna spend it. So
Yeah.
what I do it, when I used to do when I was young, it was just take out all the money, put it in the bank, leave my card at home. So I just use like $20 for the weekend, and that's it. I cannot use more than that. But like here, I feel so tempted, because buying things online, it's too easy.
Oh my God, Amazon's terrible.
Amazon, being like, I need to really like put like myself, in the scale and put what actually I need or what actually I just wanted to buy because I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. Like I've been like, oh my gosh, I've been spending too much money.
Financially, we need to find some unique and interesting investments that kind of help you with your financial goals, but then also maybe some restrictions.
Yeah, because I'm saving money still as well for other things, but I want to put some part of that money for just investing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Josue, thank you for coming in. So we have a weight loss goal.
Yeah.
We also talked about how you're going to tighten up your finances, look for smart investments.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for talking about mission talk. That was fun. I don't get a chance to talk about my mission much, and so bring back those memories of how I used to be. I was awesome, man. I was a good mission talk.
I can tell that. All the things you said today, I'm like, oh my gosh, he was one of those missionaries.
I hope none of my mission companions are watching this. He was a bum. He slept in all the time.
And I just want to tell you something. In Latin America, we don't have technology. Like, we use the crappiest phone, so we got the same. We got the agendas and all that.
Yeah.
So I know how that feels, like having the agenda here, put the stuff out there,
down.
Yeah, like that was it. Like I love it.
Cool. Thank you, Josue, for coming.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thanks for joining Fight City Fight Talk. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully we see you soon.